You guys good?
Yep.
Thank you.
Professionalism. Thank you very much.
John, I'm going to go in here and see if when the next tax deed sale is. See if I can get any documentation on it.
What is all this?
Recycling.
Recycling?
Recycling bottle caps and pads. Hey, brother, you're looking good. Thank you.
Come on, Auditor Free. It's a gobble. Vietnamese, if they don't have Greek on your man, I'm fine. Of course they don't have Greek on you. Why do I always get discriminated?
Are the people that handle tax deed sales here? Isn't that in this office?
Give us one moment.
Okay, thank you.
How can I help you?
Yes, I was wondering when the next tax deed sale is.
It should be September. It's usually the third Thursday of the month. Let me look real
Okay.
quick so that you can give you the right information.
Okay, and do you have a list of all of the properties that are being auctioned for tax deed
I
sales?
don't think they're ready yet because they have to be certified before they can be put out. But
Okay.
let me look and see on the calendar here. And then you can go on our calendar as well, and it'll give you like what properties are available and the dates.
All right,
Go look because it's not in the calendar.
thank you. It's where you can buy tax deed properties really cheap.
You mean like tax lien certificates?
Yeah, no, you can get the certificates, but this is where they auction the property off. Like once you haven't paid for 3 years, and then they have to file the paperwork. Someone does, and
So it looks like we're having a sale in October, not in September.
okay,
I don't know why we don't have one in September. But yes, you can't view the file online, but you can come in and view any of the files once they've been prepared, but they haven't been prepared yet. Because the
okay.
certified-
How many weeks before the auction are the paperwork prepared?
I don't know, it should be, I don't even know when the certified mailing goes out. So the certified mailing goes out, then the properties are usually available, so it'll be,
But usually there's a list of the properties, and once the people either pay the certificates off, or they don't, like once they pay the certificates off, then their property comes off of the list,
Right.
and it marks it. Yeah.
right, it marks it as redeemed.
You don't have that list right now available?
We don't have any properties up on the auction.
Oh,
site
I see
yet
what you're
because
saying.
It has to be certified. So once all the fees come in and we get all the information from the tax collector, then we can process the sale. And then once we get all the fees, then it goes live, and that's when it pops up on the calendar.
Okay, and what website is the auction listed on?
So
The
it goes
calendar.
on the Pasco Clerk's website.
Okay.
So if you go to pascoclerk.com, go all the way down to the bottom where it says property auction, and then you click on that, it'll give you foreclosure and it'll give you tax deed.
All right.
You select tax deed, and then it'll take you to the real auction website. There's a couple questions on there,
Yeah.
and then you can view the calendar. So we only have one a month. So if you were to go on there, you can look to see if it's listed in September or October, whichever, you know.
Okay.
And then, so I would say, I don't think we're having a sale in September, so the next sale will be in October, so that should probably be coming up sometime in the next few weeks.
And the auction is online now, right?
Yes.
And is there a deposit that you have to put down in order to bid?
Yes.
How much is that deposit?
So it's 5% of your highest bid.
Okay, so whatever you want to spend, like say $100,000, it would be 5% of that.
Yes.
You would have to put down a $5,000 deposit.
Yes, that's the five, yeah.
Okay.
That's the five, or the,
And if there's 20 people bidding, all of those people put that $5,000 deposit.
if they're all
in-
bidding that same amount, yes. So what it is you
Well,
make the
yeah, they put their
deposit.
deposit down.
They
Like,
put their 5% deposit of their highest bid. They can go into real auction and tell it to do a proxy
okay,
bid. So that means that the computer is going to bid for you in 100 increments of $100.
So
Yeah.
you max
Your
out.
highest bid.
Kind of like eBay.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly like some people don't even know what eBay is anymore. But yes, it would be
What?
exactly like that. Yeah.
Okay.
So you would, and then it would, of course, if it was less than your highest, then it would stop at that.
And
You
it,
could do this all online. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This is all online.
All online.
You don't have to go to an auction.
for the past couple years
No, yeah,
at least, it's
everything's
been.
online now.
That's pretty
so
cool.
You don't have to go physically, as they used to say on the steps.
Yeah.
You don't do that anymore. It's all online.
Well, they never did it on the steps here. They did it in this office back here. I've been to
Right,
many
they
of
always said
them.
it was on
Yeah.
the steps. That's
Yeah.
what they called it.
May I ask your name?
Denise.
Denise, thanks for your professionalism.
Oh, you're welcome.
I'll leave you.
So when you don't bid on an item, when do you get? How long does it take to get that deposit back?
So you have to go into real auction and ask for that to be refunded to you, and it can take about 4 weeks. Because it goes through the process.
Okay.
Goes to finance, and then finance then goes the check or ACH, however way you just select that you want your refund.
All right. I really appreciate you and all your information.
You're welcome.
Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Who are these rebel rousers here? Rebel rouser.
See, John, they take all of the people's deposits and they hold that for a month. Imagine the
Like a daily
interest on
exercise.
that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
Like
what they wanna do.
that's the point that I was just trying to make. You know.
Then they'll hold it another month again.
Well,
Yeah, whatever they get away with, right?
I always thought about getting into tax lien certificates.
It's called
Yeah.
legalized steal.
Y'all about becoming a knee breaker.
Well, that's all I have here, guys. If y'all want to walk around, we can.
Sure. I want to do a records request in the DMV. Sorry, brother.
Questions I was asked of the clerks. Caveman did a very good job. John Felix, Dr. Sean.
Once again, to Leto's Law. Here's Steve Leto.
One of the topics we've been talking about on this channel quite a bit is home equity theft. Home equity theft. That is where you owe some back taxes, and they foreclose on your home to get those back taxes. And you'd think, well, you know, you owe $10,000 in back taxes. They foreclose on your home. They sell it at auction for $100,000. They should pay off those back taxes and cut you a check for $90,000, right? Oh no, they often keep the whole thing and say, well, when you abandoned your house, you gave up your right to the equity. And it's an absurd argument. And I remember the first time I heard about it, I was an attorney. And Michigan was one of the states that did this the worst. And a friend of mine said, did you know they do this? I mean, they can't do that. That's so wrong. There's a statute in the books that said they could do that. And so just fairly recently, the U.S. Supreme Court said, no, you can't do that. You cannot do that. So what's weird is some states are continuing to do it by kind of contorting how they address it, saying, well, we're not quite doing exactly what the Supreme Court said we can't do. And so it's turned into a state-by-state battle where it's still happening. People go to court, and the court says, is there some reason you guys aren't following that Supreme Court ruling? And you can't do it anymore. You can't do it anymore. So I got a great note yesterday from Kate Pomeroy. She's with Pacific Legal, the Pacific Legal Foundation. They're doing great work on this as well. One of the organizations that's taking this on. And she said, hi, Steve. Today, the Nebraska Supreme Court ruled in favor of homeowners, recognizing that the government's seizure of more equity than necessary to satisfy property tax debts is unconstitutional. This decision, of course, follows the U.S. Supreme Court's ruling in Tyler versus Hennepin County, which determined that such practices violate the Fifth Amendment's takings clause, which seemed pretty obvious to most of us. The Nebraska court's decision mandates compensation for the excess equity taken from Fair and Nievin, who are the two parties there, reinforcing the protection of property rights for all homeowners in the state. The Nebraska Supreme Court ruled in favor of Nebraska homeowners who are victims of legalized home equity theft, the unconstitutional scheme whereby the government takes more than what it is owed to satisfy property tax debts. We are thrilled that after years of litigation, Nebraska finally recognizes our clients' rights to their hard-earned equity, said Christina Martin, senior attorney at Pacific Legal. The Nebraska Supreme Court held that home equity is protected by the Constitution and that the government cannot take more than what it is owed. This is a great outcome for our clients and all homeowners in the state. Back in 2013, and again, that's how far back some of these cases stretch.
Anything else?
Central permitting, but
Early construction?
yeah, that's usually where I go when I find these. Like this morning, I found a inspector. I got reports about 5 months ago of him. He spends most of his day in parking lots of stores scratching tickets, and I just busted him again this morning.
Who's that?
This inspector for the central permitting. Yeah, like
He just sits around and scratches.
exactly. And this guy, the report was that He drives the county truck now everywhere he
know
goes.
his name?
And shit, I forgot it. Someone just emailed me about him again, making a complaint and wanting me to look into him. So let me check my email. I forget it. Neil Crouch, I think is his name.
Neil Crouch.
Yeah. Someone else is complaining about, like, he acted like when they called him, like they were interrupting him.
Oh, really?
I have the email. I can show you everything, but yeah, that's where I go to report them.
I'm gonna get a number.
All right. That's my family right there.